Support me by giving this video a like, subscribe to my channel, check out my Patreon, or become a channel member using the join button below. Hello once again everyone, I am playing with Matoi and it's time for another PWMW Reacts. If you want to skip my opening monologuing and skip straight to the beginning of the death battle, the timestamps are provided at the bottom of this video and in the video description. So, it's been 2 weeks, actually. I was kind of baited by the 1 week mention. Turns out the 1 week from that last death battle video was when they started doing the character profile, you know, like preview videos that they always do. So yeah, no, it's actually still every 2 weeks is a new death battle. So here we are 2 weeks later, and we're getting ready to watch Shadow vs. Ryuko Matoi, which is Sonic Hedgehog vs. Kill la Kill. You know, gotta be super accurate about these things. Some people might not know which characters you're talking about, you know? There's just so many Shadow the Hedgehogs running around, you know? And of course, fun fact, you know, if you ever Google your name, the Hedgehog, you'll always find something. You put anybody's name, and there'll always be some random OC character named, you know, Name the Hedgehog. Shoot, there might even be a Name the Hedgehog, who knows? Anyway, so getting into the versus battles wiki information. Now, I'm more familiar with Shadow the Hedgehog, so as you can see, I have him as my pick. Really don't know too much about Kill la Kill, other than the fact that Ryuko dresses very questionably, and she seems to lose more and more clothing the more powered up she gets. It's something. But yeah, so Versus Battles actually has this as a humongous, mega, uber-duper, super pooper scooper stomp for Shadow, because Shadow's tier is actually low multiverse level. Now, the reason why he got there is because the defeat of Solaris from Sonic 06. So, the funny thing is now they have 2 different variants which either they might use, but I feel like one is more likely not going to be used. Now there's the 2 Archie version. Now there's the pre-Super Genesis Wave Shadow, which is actually even more powerful, coming in at complex multiverse level, which is like we're talking about like God tier level here, and yeah, and that was for the same feat. That was for defeating Solaris in the comics. Now, there's the post-Super Genesis Wave Shadow, which is slightly higher than the game version at Multiverse Level Plus. And again, and that's scaling to Solaris from the comics, even like post-Super Genesis Wave, but slightly nerfed as compared to pre-Super Genesis Wave. Even still, those are still mega stomps over Ryuko's main, like, anime source material, which puts her at highest at moon level. Oh, dear God. Okay, that's even worse than I thought. But there's another version of Ryuko from Kill la Kill If, which was a video game, and from what I understand, non-canon. And that puts her pretty much right at Shadow's level from the games, and I believe, yeah, the post-Genesis Wave, low multiverse level it puts her at. So that's extremely close. There's almost no way they're not going to use that version. But even still, it looks like Shadow, at least from the tiering, has the advantage, but there could be some hacks going on here, you know, like with their powers and whatnot. Like, I don't even want to, like, I mean, I can read all the powers that they have, you know, I can skim over it, but I just don't really know exactly how they're able to apply those particular powers. Like, they have, like, some examples, you know, like with each one, well, almost each one. But yeah, like, that doesn't really explain much to me. But yeah, so I want Shadow to win, and from everything that I'm seeing, it looks like he definitely holds the advantage, even with the Kill la Kill If version of Ryuko. Yeah, from the Versus battles. So yeah, it looks, it's everything's coming up Shadow. So let's see if Shadow, who is 0-2 so far in death battles, having lost to Vegeta and Mewtwo, will finally get a W in the Versus battles universe. So yeah, without further ado, let's stop with the gabbing and let's get to the battling. Death Battle, the card and dice game. Okay, sure.
Shadow the Hedgehog, powerhouse of chaos and rival to Sonic.
That's
and
him.
Ryuko Matoi, the teen fighter in Life Fiber from Kill la Kill.
That's
Both
her.
maybe try-hard incarnate, but when the chips are down, who is the deadliest edgelord of them all?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
course.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor,
We gotta
and
go
skills to
edgelord
find out
again.
Who would win? A death battle.
Doom.
Dr. Gerald Robotnik, grandfather to the Dr. Eggman we all know, had a problem. His granddaughter, Maria, was
So this is
dying,
the third
succumbing
time
to
that
a
they have to go into
neuroimmunity
Shadow's
disease with
backstory.
No known cure.
Oh,
But old
Nids.
Jerry had a plan. When the government contacted him to build
I remember
the
I looked
ultimate
this
life
up
form,
just like
he
a week
figured
ago.
Its DNA could cure Maria no problem. So he took the job, and by studying the infinite power of Chaos Emeralds with some alien assistance, he made the one
Yeah,
and
that guy
only
looks
Shadow the
trustworthy.
Hedgehog. Wait, did the government commission him, or was it Hot Topic?
Better question, since when were hedgehogs ultimate disease-curing life forms? I mean, Gerald's prototype was a lizard, which sort of makes sense as certain reptiles have regenerative tissue, but then he went from this to a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
Don't
cares
question
if he's
it,
a
dude.
lizard, hedgehog,
It's
squirrel,
just
or
video game
whatever,
stuff.
Liz. All that matters is he's super badass looking, super badass sounding, and is super powered by chaos. Literally.
Shadow's powers are directly tied to those of the Miracle Gem's Chaos Emeralds. He can tap into their power for incredible feats, similar to
I've
his
never heard them
older
referred to
rival.
as the
Likely
Miracle
for
Gems.
this very reason, he actually possesses many of the same abilities as Sonic.
You know, the guy who's so fast he can almost outrun a black hole?
Spin attacks, homing
Eh,
attacks, spin
that's not that
dashes,
fast.
etc.
But unlike his blue buddy, Shadow's not afraid to get serious and bust out some lead. Hey Sonic, why use a spin attack when you've got a goddamn gun or a sword as big as you?
Oh.
Look at that thing!
He's used some of the same
was
power-ups
that
that Sonic's
sword.
picked up, like heat barriers and magnetic lightning shields. But he also has some unique gear all of his own.
His air shoes are way cooler than Sonic's sneakers. They can boost his
True.
speed to match Sonic's and also let him fly, kind of. He's even got some gear attached that lets him attack at the speed of light.
However, all of these abilities and equipment are mere accessories to Shadow's true power, the might of chaos itself. Even without an emerald on hand, Shadow can summon similar power, manifesting attacks like Black Tornado, Chaos Blast, or the deadly Chaos
Blast.
Spear.
But even though they totally asked
Chaos
for
Spear
Don
was
Jerry
just
to make
cheap
Shadow, the
in
Feds
Sonic
got
Adventure
spooked
2
and tried to
battle.
shut down the project. And that's when things went bad. Like, really bad.
Shadow was successfully sealed away.
You love
but
seeing that in a
crossfire,
kid show.
A life was lost. Maria.
How many
Duck
times?
and
How many
super pissed
different
off. She went
variations
looking
do they
for
have of her
Morgan
getting
and
shot?
Poetry. And Jerry had time to give him fake memories and a
Jerry.
need for revenge against all humanity. Wiz, you think we're ever gonna find a scientist who doesn't go totally bonkers?
I mean, what about me?
Okay.
Well, since Maria was Shadow's only real friend,
Good reaction to that.
revenge seemed like a good idea, which was a serious problem considering just how powerful he is.
He can teleport, slow down, or even stop time, and even time
Rex
travel a bit.
Silver.
And just like any teenage boy, he's got some serious mood swings he doesn't like to talk about.
Which can actually affect his
Okay.
abilities. With negative
Oh,
emotion,
yeah, the
his
inhibitor
raw
rings.
power intensifies. With positive emotion, he gains more control. But
Aw.
when it comes down to it, the government may have been right to worry. Shadow possesses so much power, even he can't always control it.
Chaos powers are crazy.
Inhibitor
Sonic once used all
rings.
7 of the Chaos Emeralds to literally rebuild the Earth.
This is why Shadow wears inhibitor rings, which
There they
limit
are.
how much chaos energy he can release at once. When he does remove them, what he loses in control is made up for by a massive increase in power, enough to match that of a whole Chaos Emerald. What are you looking at?
Is that, do you have a ring on your robot arm?
It was a gift?
That looks like a wedding
Ooh,
ring, buddy.
Well, good luck with that. All the rings I've given out to people always get sent back eventually. Anyway, Spiky Head's so powerful, he teleported an entire space colony and even a giant asteroid. Plus, he's held back this huge space plant monster.
And of course, tapping into the power of additional Chaos Emeralds
Yeah, they're
increases his
Solaris.
power to unbelievable heights.
By doing a tango with all 7, he can turn into Super Shadow. Now, without power rings, this form can't stick
God, I
around
remember
for
the
more than a
olden
full
days when
minute,
everybody
but
was
while
calling it
he's
Hyper
doing he's got
Shadow,
super enhanced abilities.
because, you know,
He's
his
basically
color was slightly
invulnerable,
different.
And he can fly.
Base Shadows not only survived being shot out of a cannon, but he's just as tough as Sonic, who survived the space station Death Egg exploding right in front of him. Most impressively, as Super Shadow, he and Supersonic were fired into planet Aquarius, obliterating it. This would take over a whole exaton of TNT.
Math
So you
time.
explain. All this happened because after 50 years of Shadow being trapped, Eggman himself released him to conquer the world. Sonic and crew had to stop him from destroying all mankind, but really, he's so fast he'd wreck anyone's shit before they'd notice.
Shadow has dodged gunfire and destroyed enemies without being seen, but his light speed attacks are stated as being exactly that, light speed. Almost 3 million meters per second.
I was gonna
So
say,
Shadow's
dodging
super
bullets
strong
isn't really
and
much of
super
an
fast. Makes
impressive
sense he's a
feat as
formidable enemy
moving
to
at the
just
speed of
about
light.
anyone.
Lucky for our heroes, they inspired Shadow to regain his memories of Maria, who actually wanted him to protect humanity instead of, you know, destroy it.
He may have softened up, but he'll always be
overrated.
the edgy hedgehog we love to hate to love.
Understood. Initiating the mission now.
I'll never forget the chat that I had recently about everybody wanting to sound like David Humphrey, Shadow's original voice actor.
These parasites attach themselves to the most intelligent species they could find. Humans.
And they even got humans to make
not
them
that
into
intelligent, to be
clothes,
honest.
so it was easier for them to live on us and provide viewers with gratuitous fan service.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Anyway, the life fibers helped humans evolve more
Goodness
quickly and
gracious.
soon just passively survived as humanity developed. But some weren't content with such passivity, like Ryuko, who had access to the original primordial life fiber that landed on Earth so long ago.
And humans are gonna human, so she and her husband
Love her
experimented
hair.
on that sucker like nobody's business.
They attempted
Is that
to
Gary
infuse
Oak?
fibers into both of their daughters. Their first daughter was too old for the experiment to be a success, and it appeared
Lol.
that their infant second daughter was also a failure, so Ryuko just threw her away.
Whoa, she threw away her baby? Kinda reminds me of how my dad just threw away our relationship.
Well, fortunately for this child, her father couldn't stand
why
by
did
Ryuko's decision
Wiz
and
hear
rescued
him
her,
thinking that?
assuming the name Ishin Matoi, and raised this daughter himself. This is Ryuko.
Yeah,
That dude was
things were
definitely
okay
Gary
for a
Oak,
while, but it wasn't a picnic at the Matoi household. Ryuko and Ishin didn't always get along, so he shipped her off to boarding school to fight other people there instead of him. When she finally came home, she found dear old dad bleeding out, impaled by a weird-looking sword.
This was the first half of what would become her signature weapon, the Scissor Blades. In Ishin's last moments, he urged Ryuko to find whoever wielded the other half of the weapon, the one who killed him.
Ryuko might not have known it, but the scissor blades were created by her father out of life fibers.
They're actually one of the only weapons that can cut and destroy life fibers,
Huh?
which is important when your opponents are all using, you know, life fibers.
I would say we take a shot every time we say life fiber, but you'd definitely die, Wiz. And do not try that at home. Anyway, with the quest of revenge and half a
Interesting.
scissor blade, she started hunting down her father's killer. But she couldn't do it by herself, so she found a skimpy sailor suit to help her out. Yeah, here's that fan service thing I was telling you about.
This is Senketsu, a living suit made from life fibers, also known as a kamui. Now, there's plenty of clothing out there made with some life fiber, but a kamui like Senketsu is unique in that it's made of 100% life fiber. And yes, I said living suit.
Wait, Ryuko! These assassins can't hear me! Oh, that feels nice.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Not just anyone can wear Senketsu, as they have to successfully
in the
bond with
world?
him for the process to work.
Oh,
Lucky
God.
for Ryuko, she absolutely could, in no small part thanks to the life fibers infused within her body when she was an infant.
Mom, you trash person, it did work. And when she and Senketsu learned how to work together, there wasn't much that could stand in their way. He's more than just a sailor outfit.
As a life fiber construct, Senketsu can absorb other life fibers to increase his own power, allowing him to transform to gain new abilities.
His Senjin form makes him super spiky, and his Shifu form turns Ryuko into a badass fighting rocket.
He's also able to combine both the Senjin and Shipu forms for more versatility. Admittedly, though, each of these transformations comes
One
at a
thing that
cost
I'm getting,
for
though,
Ryuko,
about
as
the
they're
art
fueled by
style of
Senketsu
this anime is
consuming
that it
her
seems
blood.
very
This
Gurren
is most
Lagann.
dangerous in his berserker form that occurs when Ryuko gets too upset and Senketsu loses control. If not
Okay.
stopped in time, she
Yep.
could die from too much
This
blood
is
loss.
a
But
thing.
most impressive is when Ryuko straight up goes flying Super Saiyan and Senketsu turns into his Kisaragi form. It's way more powerful and uses even more of her blood. What's the deal? Is Senketsu a vampire?
Well, a popular theory suggests that it's all a metaphor for puberty. Senketsu pulling out Ryuko's blood is symbolic of menstruation, and the skinnier outfits visualize acceptance of sexuality and adulthood, except she's a teenager.
What's happening?
Already went through puberty?
What's
Do you have a
happening?
daughter?
No.
I thought so. At least having
in
life
the
fiber
world
DNA means she has crazy
was
abilities
that
on top of
theory?
Senketsu's transformations, like insane super fast healing.
Ooh.
Basically, life fibers restore themselves so quickly that Ryuko's body starts regenerating before a blade has finished cutting through her. Unless someone is
Okay.
quick enough to cut through her body before this regeneration begins, she can survive almost anything.
She's been stabbed and sliced tons of times, including completely in half, and even had her heart ripped out of her chest. Can we get this chick as the next guest character in Mortal Kombat? I mean, they're taking
Lord.
basically anybody these days, so...
Her strength is incredible. At one point, she had to blast a hole through a layer of life fibers surrounding the entire planet. Life fibers are stated to be harder than solid steel, so to pull this off, she must have struck with a force equivalent to over 650 exatons of TNT.
Which means she'd be able to take a hit that strong too. But with all these powers and more, Ryuko finally found her
What
father's
in
killer.
the...
And completed the rending scissors.
These
God.
swords can casually cut through
The
skyscrapers and have
violence.
some super forms of their own. Decapitation mode extends the blades for better slicing and dicing, while alumni mode makes them so gigantic they eclipse the freaking earth. What is this show?
Next to Ryuko, one scissor
True.
blade is normally about 2.5 feet long.
How is she
Scaling up,
3'3"?
the alumni mode appears to be about 1,017 times larger, weighing well over 3 million tons. If you have a pair of normal scissors at home, imagine lifting 50 billion of those all at once. That's what this is like.
She can slice
All right.
through 200
Yeah,
tennis
I'm
balls
totally
5
following
times
this.
each in less than a second, which us in the scientifically community call fast as f.
Or 8,000 times faster than sound. And she rocketed into the atmosphere in less than 18 seconds, which means her flying speed can reach Mach 500.
Wait.
That doesn't sound like the speed of
Why
light.
is everyone naked?
Ryuko may not have had the easiest upbringing, but after dedicating herself to revenge for so long, and yet saving the entire planet, she had become something unexpected. A hero.
Let's go! I'm gonna slice your ass in half!
Alright, this is
All
gonna
right,
be
bets are
something.
set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
Lord.
But first, Shadow
What,
and
that looked like
Ryuko
the
are
video
always
game
ready
for
to
a second
perform,
there.
and make sure you are with Blue Chew.
I'm so sad that I sat through and listened through that whole chewable Viagra ad again.
Hey! You cut me off, asshat!
Who cares? Ryuko, maybe we should...
Oh, yeah?
That is Vegeta's abridged voice actor, isn't it? For Shadow. Yeah, I love how they animated that whole thing. Fight. I still hold out to the hope that they'll eventually one day bring that back.
Chaos control!
Maybe it's not.
He's anticipating you. You should anticipate him instead.
No shit, stupid! Let's get faster!
I just can't see Shadow losing this. They didn't even mention the video game.
Aw, did your mommy pack that sword for you?
I can't see it happening. It's gonna be so depressing if he loses again.
Careful, that hurts.
Have a little faith.
Yeah, her regen is gonna be like the hugest factor here. This is like god tier regen.
Time to end this. Behold my power.
Suncut Kisaragi!
I love how she has her own Super Saiyan form. Uh-huh. Faker! I think you're the fake Super Saiyan around here.
Scissor blade! Alumni mode!
Big fat mode is what I would call that.
Dipshit!
Dang, it's moving so slowly, though. Oh. Rings came off. It's for reals time.
Chaos blast.
I love how he just casually says that. Yeah, evaporating her would definitely do it.
I'm the coolest.
Shut your mouth! My god.
Boy, we made fun of how little clothing Ryuko was wearing, but Shadow
Ryuko?
the whole time.
Armed with Senketsu, her scissor blades, and her life fiber buffs, Ryuko was definitely a match for Shadow at first.
Yeah, with her awesome strength combined with her insane endurance, Space Form Shadow was in a lot of trouble. But even then, it wasn't a surefire win for the Rocket Chick.
Outside of his super form, Shadow never withstood anything on the scale of Ryuko's hole in the life fibers surrounding Earth. At her maximum power, she could have easily dealt a killing blow, if she could catch him. Shadow could keep up with Sonic the Hedgehog, whose race against a black hole proves he can move over 260,000 times faster than sound. Far faster than anything Ryuko's shown, and more than quick enough to slice through a life fiber before it has time to heal.
Once the red and black Hedgehog turned red and gold, Ryuko didn't really have a way to take him down. I mean, Super Shadow's Chaos powers use all 7 Chaos Emeralds, which can move pieces of the Earth around.
Considering Earth's total mass and the speed at which each piece was moved, this would require exerting energy equivalent to 1.6 decillion joules, which translates to over 2,800 zetatons of TNT.
That's a ton of power. A lot
What
more
is
than
it?
Ryuko's
F with
biggest hits.
competition.
Even one Chaos
I
Emerald
didn't
is
get to
enough
read the whole
match
thing.
Ryuko's best. And considering Shadow can match the power of an Emerald when he takes off those inhibitors, he had better odds of winning even without going super.
Ryuko put up an amazing fight, one for the ages, but Shadow's unmatched power and speed proved too much for Our Lady in black and red.
Hey, he's pretty beat up about it too. Do you know what he said when he was asked what his favorite anime is?
I like the one with the edgy girl and the scissor blade.
It's canon. No, really.
In
Huh.
clothing, the
It's him.
Hedgehog couldn't be overshadowed, and Ryuko's life fiber was snipped.
The winner is Shadow the Hedgehog.
Moving on to what's coming up
Thanks
next.
for watching. Stay
Oh
tuned.
my
We'll be
God.
jumping into the next matchup next week. But you can always get more Death Battle right now by clicking one of those boxes right over there and by downloading the battle music linked down below.
That's great. What's next? Luthor. And Doctor Doom. Interesting? So, okay, so this is the second time that we see Luthor in a death battle where he lost pretty handily to Iron Man. Wait a minute, how is he supposed to defeat Doctor Doom if he can't beat Iron Man? Isn't Doctor Doom like, doesn't he have like, yeah, he has like god tier powers. He literally has like god tier. I literally just, I went straight out of the Versus Battles wiki and he has like, it's insane tier. There's no way. How is he, that's gonna be a 0 and 2 for Luthor now. Shadow broke his loss streak. Now he's 1 and 2. Now Luthor is gonna come in and be like, hey, you know what sounds like fun? Losing 2 in a row. That's gonna be something. I gotta go back and I gotta read. There was they mentioned something about Kill la Kill If. Also, yeah, I love casual. Shadow was about Chaos Blast. Boom, dead. Even if the primordial life fiber's ability to warp space and time from Kill la Kill If was accounted for, Shadow has technically defeated Solaris, who has similar time and space manipulation powers on a larger scale. There you go. Okay, so yeah, so they at least acknowledged the if variant of Ryuko, who has a time limit for staying synchronized through blood consumption. This limit gets shortened as she takes damage, making it even more difficult for her to outlast Super Shadow. Yeah, so I remember that they summed up the battle between Vegeta and Shadow really simply by saying that Vegeta has, you know, monologued his way through, you know, a lot of delay and distractions, and he has taken, you know, huge beatings before, so he would just be able to outlast, like, the time limit that Super Shadow has, you know, before he transforms back into regular Shadow, and then, you know, and then defeats him that way. But yeah, that was that was a good one. Again, you know, like I said at the very beginning of the battle, I was just like, man, I just cannot see him losing this. And he didn't, which is great. So I got it right, and Versus Battles got it right. So everything lined up beautifully this time around, as opposed to the clashing decisions from the previous video. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Looking forward to the next one. I pretty much said everything that I needed to say at the beginning of this video. So yeah, I guess I might as well just go ahead and sign out and say if you like this video, why don't you subscribe or check out some of my other videos. There's more other ways, so stay tuned. Don't forget to give this video a like. And if you're subscribed, please do click that notification bell so that you know, right there, every time I upload something, boom, hey, there's a video you can watch. So that's going to be it for me, Mr. The Playing with Matoi. I will see you all next time. A huge thank you to my monthly supporters who helped make this video possible. Tiberia, Yale, Crasher, Colin, Joel, Kite, Boo Games, Savage Zoo, Jordan, Eli, Brian X, Caillou, Mia, and Ethan W.